my name is Carla McKenzie. I am a graduate student at Texas Woman University. While you are here, you're participating in a program entitled Safe Sex, No Regrets. At this moment, we're just going to go around the table and introduce who you are and your name and age, okay? That's it. Nothing extra, just your name and age.
John, 28.
Aaron, 14.
Quindarius, 14.
14. Again, my name is Carla McKenzie. The purpose of this program is to encourage condom use among Black American young youth. Black American young youth as in 15 to 29 years of age. Research has shown that Black youth has low condom use, and my goal is to encourage you guys to practice safe sex, consistently and correctly use condoms each time you engage in sex. So at this moment, I'm going to give you a few minutes to complete this questionnaire that's provided with you at the table. You have a pen and you have a piece of paper. Please fill that out as honest as you can. You are more than welcome to skip over some questions if you do not feel comfortable, but I strongly encourage you guys to answer it as honestly as you can. So it should take maybe about 2 or 3 minutes, if that long. If you have problems answering, you don't know the wording of it, I'd be more than glad to help you answer the questions. Okay, so about a few more seconds to complete this. Okay, we're all finished. Before we go any further, I'd like to set some ground rules. If you do have a cell phone, I ask that you either turn it off or you cut it on silent or vibrate so it will not disrupt the class. Okay, next I'm more of an engager, so I'm going to start with an icebreaker. And I'm going to, please do not eat the Skittles. Please not eat the Skittles. Just take one and pass it around for me. So I'm going to ask Mr. Jonathan if you could scoot back so it'll be easier to rotate the Skittles around. Okay? So it's about going to take like 2 minutes if that long. So what I'm going to ask you to do, you're going to pass the Skittles. So Jonathan, you're going to pass it to Aaron. Aaron, you're going to pass it to Quintavious. Quindarius, you're going to pass it to Quindarius. And then Quindarius, you're going to pass it back to Jonathan, okay? So I'm just going to have you rotate the cup around, and then when I tell you to stop, I want you to keep the cup that's in your hand, okay? Go. Yeah. Okay, and stop. Who has sour Skittles in their cup? You have sour Skittles?
Yes, ma'am.
So inside each cup was a few of regular Skittles, and there was one cup that had sour Skittles. And the objective of this icebreaker is to determine how fast an STD can spread. Right? Kind of scary, huh? So when you engage in sex, you don't know what that person has. When you lay down, you don't know if they have a sexual transmitted disease. You don't know if they've been already had one and they was like, no, I don't got nothing, I promise I'm clean. You don't know when you're engaging in sex with that person. So this activity is to see how easy it is that sexually transmitted diseases can be passed on. So everybody touched that green cup, right? Everybody touched that green cup. So everybody was potentially exposed to an STD. However, the cup stayed with Aaron, so he's the one who has the STD. But imagine the cups being females, okay? Imagine the cups being female. Everybody had the green female, right? So we all slept with the green female, but only Aaron has the green cup permanently. It stopped on him, and he has the sour Skittles inside his cup. So Aaron now has STD. Not realistically, but just hypothetically speaking, using the icebreaker, he has an STD. So the importance is you always have to ask questions before engaging in sexual activity. I don't care if she's fine, she got this bad body, yo, shorty looking good. You have to ask, like, listen, when was your last time you got tested for STDs? Like, let me see your records, let me see your paper. Oftentimes, sexually transmitted disease or HIV It's like a stigma attached to it, so therefore people want, no, I'm good. I don't have nothing. No, I'm good. It's okay. We get, so that's why, going back to our purpose, that's why it's important to use protection every time we engage in sexual activity. I don't care how bad she is. I don't care how long y'all been talking. You have to always protect yourself, okay? Forget the other person. Always protect yourself, okay? Number one goal, protect yourself. Always use protection consistently and correctly, okay? So moving, you can eat those Skittles if you want them. You're free to eat them at this time. At this time, we're going to go ahead and do a group activity. So on your table, you see a small little poster board. No, yeah, you see a small little poster board. I need a writer. So someone is a designated writer.
A writer.
Quindarius, you gonna be the writer? Okay, so this is a group effort, meaning you guys would have to communicate with each other. So the question is the importance of using condoms. So on this piece of paper, I want you guys to brainstorm as a group the importance of using condoms. Okay? So talk amongst yourselves, and then you all give your ideas to Quindarius, and he will write down the answer that you say. Okay? Let's get going.
So what you think? What do you think is the most important reason why to use a condom?
The importance of it.
It can keep you from having a baby.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You want to write that down? What else?
It can prevent catching any STDs, STIs.
So what did she say? I'm on birth control. I don't need to use condoms. I'm on birth control. What is your response to that?
We'll keep using it. My friend will use this condom.
You keep using them. That's why you use this number.
Yeah.
Birth control is only a method to prevent pregnancy.
Right.
Birth control does not prevent transmission of sexually transmitted infections or diseases. So it's good that you're on birth control, but you're not trying to have kids, you're not trying to be a daddy, she ain't trying to be no mama. It's important to stay on birth control, but what we need to do is something that prevents us from having an STD, okay? So what else? The importance of using condoms.
STD.
You just put STD.
What you think, man? What's one of you? What you think?
So we have pregnancy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We said pregnancy, we said
Don't have too
STDs.
many baby mamas.
Don't want to have a lot of baby mamas? That'd be one. What else? Think about individual. Yourself.
It can keep you healthy.
Keep you healthy. By meaning, when you say healthy, you mean like abstaining from diseases. What else? What about just respecting yourself? Right? You just don't want to lay down with anybody and then not use protection. You just want to respect yourself. And I often say self-respect. I often say love yourself, protect yourself. No, respect yourself, protect yourself equals loving yourself. So if you respect yourself enough, you protect yourself. And if you protect yourself, you're showing that you love yourself. So respect yourself, protect yourself means equals loving yourself. So what do you have on your list, Quindarius? What did they say?
Prevent from having babies, prevent STDs, prevent from having multiple baby mamas, keep healthy, and respect yourself.
Respecting yourself. Do we all agree with Quindarius' list? Y'all want to add something? No?
We hit on every, it hit almost on all 7.
Okay, so that's why it's important. Whatever, I don't care if you had that friend who's like, yo, man, you don't need one. You don't have to wear no condom. You have to go back to this list. Why is it important to use protection? Why is that important? Because whatever your friend goes may not be the same goals you may have. You may try to go off to school, and what happens if you lay down with old girl and she gets pregnant? What happens to your goals then?
You have a baby.
You have a baby, and how does that mess up your goals?
You have to pay child support.
You have to pay child support. You may have to go to work. You got to stay up all night helping with the baby. Cause
Can't complete school.
can't complete school. I'm not gonna say you can't complete school. It'll take longer for you to complete school. What else? What if you want to go to school on a scholarship?
You can't have your own self-time.
You can't have your personal time. You gotta have a baby. So if you go out, your baby gotta go too.
Low self-esteem.
Self-esteem.
Low self-esteem.
What do you mean by that?
Like, you might be suicidal or depressed because you had a baby when you didn't want to have a baby.
If you didn't have one, you had a baby when you wasn't ready to have a baby. So that's going back to is why it's important because you're not ready to be a father. We in middle school. We're not ready to be daddies, right? Imagine a little 1-year-old daddy, Adrian, daddy Kadarius, daddy. Imagine that. You're not ready for that mentally or physically. You're not ready for that stress of being a teenage father. So that's why it's important to use protection. Okay, so our next conversation will be, what is safe sex? You don't have to write this down, just a conversation. What is safe sex?
Using a condom.
Using a condom? What else is safe sex?
Getting tested before you have sex.
That's safe sex, so getting tested before you have sex. So say for instance you're in a relationship with you and your girlfriend and you ask her, say, listen, when was the last time you got tested? And she was like, I don't know. Good time to go get tested. Always ask the last time they were tested for a sexual transmitted disease. Because like I said, nobody's really going to be honest with you and say, I had chlamydia or I had gonorrhea. They're not going to be open and honest with you about that. So you have to ask them, number one, asking those questions, don't be embarrassed to ask, you're protecting yourself, right? So that's the overall goal, is protecting yourself when you're engaging in sexual activity. Protect yourself always. So she said, you ask her, let's go get tested. Before we do anything, we're going to get tested. Make sure you're good and I'm good, okay? But I will tell you this, always use condoms unless you're married. Unless you're married or you are in a monogamous relationship, you for sure she not cheating on you. Because I mean, hey, anything goes. Nobody's going to be honest saying, hey, I slept with your friend or I slept with old boy. Nobody's going to be honest about that. So you have to always protect yourself. Always, okay? What else is safe sex? So we have using condoms. We have, what did you say, Aaron? Getting tested. What else?
It's practicing abstinence.
Abstinence. So you're not engaging in sex at all. Practicing abstinence. Say, look. Not saying that you can't, say for instance you were sexually active, it's like, I'm practicing abstinence now. That's fine. As long as you determine to say, hey, I'm not having sex anymore. I'm done. I'm not having sex anymore. Until you're ready and until you're sure that that partner is the one you want to be with long term. What else?
Not doing it so often.
Not doing it so often? What do you mean?
Like doing it all the time, constantly.
All the time, constantly? What about we use protection all the time, constantly? Yeah? What else? What else is safe sex? So we have using condoms, we have getting tested, we have using condoms consistently, and we have abstinence. What else?
I had one, but I forgot it.
How about just having one partner, monogamy?
What is it?
Nowadays, dating means people, when you say dating, it has the assumption that you're sleeping with somebody. Dating doesn't necessarily have to mean that, okay? So if you say we're dating means talking. We're not sexually active with each other. But when I say monogamy, that means only having one partner. So for 1 week, you're not sleeping with girl A. The next week, you're sleeping with girl B. The next week, you're sleeping with girl C. We're just sleeping with girl A the entire time. We're not hopping around, okay? Because what happens?
You catch an STD.
If you don't use condom, you catch an STD. What else?
If you do, you could get caught.
You get caught, so you get caught cheating. You don't want that. You don't want that. Those problems. So what else is safe sex?
Keep a condom handy.
Keep a condom handy at all times. At all times, keep one handy. I don't care if it's in your pocket, your wallet, in your car, by your bedstand. Always keep a condom handy, because what happens, and you're in the moment and things get intense, things get excited, and you're like, oh, I ain't got no condom. what happens?
You want
What should be your response, actually? I ain't got no condom. What should be your response?
Oh, I'm sorry, we can't do it no more.
We can't do it no more. Hey, you ain't got one, I ain't got one, we can't do it. So that should be your response. Let me tell you this, girls are smooth talkers. They can talk you out of it. Oh, we ain't gotta use one this time. I'm on birth control, we good. But what I say at the beginning, birth control what?
Does it prevent?
pregnancy and pregnant?
Pregnancy, but not STDs, right? So if she's using like, oh, we good, I'm on birth control. No, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna need some extra protection. Because I'm not trying to get any sexually transmitted infections or diseases, okay? So, on your next piece of paper, Quindarius, you still want to be our writer?
Anybody else want to write? No, okay.
So, Quindarius is still going to be our writer. And I want you guys to list as many sexually transmitted infections that you are aware of.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is AIDS one?
AIDS is not one, HIV is one. AIDS is a disease. So HIV/AIDS, it'll work. But AIDS is a disease and HIV is a virus.
What's the question?
So list as many STDs that you know. So Aaron has said HIV. Then you can do dash H or hyphen AIDS.
What about
Gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydia,
If you don't know how to spell it, you write G C
herpes,
S.
blue waffles?
blue waffles.
What is blue waffles? What is that?
It's not a disease. It's something else.
What is blue waffles? Educate me.
We gotta look it up.
I gotta look it up. You use it. Tell me what
I've
it is.
seen it. I ain't know
Blue
what
waffles?
definition.
Blue waffles. What is that?
It's like when your butt cheeks turn purple.
And
Your butt cheeks aren't
It's
purple.
not just your butt.
It's something like that.
You want me to look it up? Somebody look it up.
Yeah, Google it for me. I'm gonna give you permission to use your phone because I want to know what blue waffles is.
To your phone.
Well, just ask you.
Am I right there?
Wait.
So we gonna look at blue waffles. We googling blue waffles.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Lord.
Oh, the images showed up.
Yes.
But again, did any information show up? And it just shows you how the power of the internet is. Just to Google something.
A fictionally sexual transmitted disease supposed to be influence affect only females, leading to severe
Contamination.
and blue staining the vagina region.
So that's what blue waffles
You
is?
want to see your image?
Sure.
What is blue waffle?
Did you read what it said on the definition? Fictionally?
Checking. Here's what I found on the web for what is blue waffle.
So it goes to show you the power of, I'm passing it back. It goes to show you the power of the internet. If you don't know something, you just Google, right? The power of the internet. Oftentimes, teenagers or adolescents, if we don't know something, we just Google. But what's the problem with Google? Is it always right? Is the information always credible?
Not all the time.
Not all the time. So I'm gonna use this little plug-in right here. If you don't know something, if you're uneducated about something, always go to somebody that you can trust. Go to your physician, your doctor that you see every year, that you go for checkups or whatever. If you get sick, you go to your doctor. You can always ask your mom. But I encourage you, whatever you do, don't ask your friend, because your friend thinks they gonna know everything. Or don't even get on Google, because oftentimes Google isn't credible. So always ask your physician. We're gonna get back to the STD talk, but I have a question. How many times when we go to the doctor, how many of us actually engage in a conversation with the doctor when we go? Are we talking to the doctor, or is our parent talking to the doctor? You talk to your doctor?
I like that one, but it's like like minor conversation.
Like small conversation?
I'm trying to talk to my
You try to talk to your doctor? So, say for instance, we're sexually active and we want to know blue waffles. Instead of just Googling blue waffles, you can ask your doctor. And he can give you the credible research or the credible answer to what blue waffles is. Because as we all know, the thing said a fictional sexually transmitted infection. Right? So, Quindarius, what do we have on our list for sexually transmitted disease?
HIV, AIDS, what do you say,
Gonorrhea, chlamydia,
salmonella,
syphilis,
Salmonella, syphilis,
syphilis,
and blue waffles.
and herpes.
herpes. And HPV is one as well. Human papillomavirus is another sexually transmitted infection. It occurs in both male and females. However, there is a vaccine that is available for your age group to where if you go into your physician, you get a vaccination for it. There are some strands that is not protected against. You can get up until the age of 26, I believe it is. So between the ages, I want to say 15 to 26 or 12 to 26. They recommend it in females at the age of 11 to start getting it. So you can get the Gardasil vaccination for HPV. So let's start off the list. HIV. What do you guys know about HIV?
It's a disease.
It's a disease.
People
It's
die.
a virus. People die if you have AIDS. So HIV, if your immune system and your white blood cell counts gets below a certain threshold, you can develop AIDS. But HIV is a virus. AIDS is a disease. What else? We have gonorrhea. What do you guys know about gonorrhea?
What do you know what going on?
It's a nasty disease, man. It's a nasty STD.
It's a nasty STD.
Yeah, I can't tell you the ins and outs. I don't know. I ain't had it.
So both males and females can get gonorrhea, right? There are no symptoms, asymptomatic. For females, it may resemble a yeast infection. For males, it's like a pus-like discharge from the penis. So you may notice that from the discharge coming from the penis, okay? That's gonorrhea. I have some handouts at the end of class that I will pass out. This is a basic information sheet on different STDs provided by the Center for Disease Control Center. I will tell you this, if you do decide to Google STDs or you want to know something about Google, sexual transmitted, always go to the CDC website, cdc.gov. Whatever you want to know, that is a credible source to find out anything. It shows you symptoms, it gives you pictures, it shows you treatment. It tells you the background information for males and females. It tells you that. Now, I will tell you this. Is gonorrhea curable? Like, can you get rid of gonorrhea? Yes or no?
No.
I believe so.
You believe so? You say no. You can get rid of gonorrhea. They give you an antibiotic for it, and that is a form of treatment. Let's move on down to chlamydia. What do you guys know about chlamydia? No, nothing about chlamydia. We know that it's a sexually transmitted infection or disease. What else do we know about chlamydia?
It sounds like it can be only found in females.
Yeah.
It sounds like something that can be only found in females. It can be both male and females. However, as I said, it's asymptomatic. For females, again, it's like having a vaginal discharge or a yeast infection. For males, it's the same thing. That little pus-like discharge. You might feel some pain, urination, some pain during sex. Some swelling may occur. That's how you may know if you have chlamydia. Let's go back. Is chlamydia, can you get rid of chlamydia? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes?
With an antibiotic.
With an antibiotic. You say no, Quindarius? You can get rid of chlamydia. It is curable. So you get rid of it with an antibiotic. Yes, sir?
I have a question. Okay, so if it's coming out your penis, like how do you know if it's sperm or pus?
You know, have you ever had a pimple?
Yeah, no, I have not.
You never had a pimple. So when you pop a pimple, pus comes out. Like this white, thick, creamy stuff that comes out of a pimple. That's pus. Sperm or semen is like a clear type discharge. Pus has a color to it. Like the color of that poster board. Pus. White. Sperm is clear. So that's how you know if it's sperm or a discharge. And if it's sperm, it'll happen like right after sex, after you guys have sex, sexual intercourse. And if it's pus, like if it's a discharge, you'll notice it like throughout the day. You'll just see it like a leak coming from your penis is discharge. That's what I'm talking about. So we did say that we could get rid of chlamydia. We can get rid of gonorrhea. Can we get rid of HIV? No. Why is that?
It should just stay in your system.
It stays in your system. It's a virus. HIV is a virus. Chlamydia, gonorrhea is bacteria. So it's like some nasty stuff got into your system, your reproductive system, and your body doesn't like it. That's bacteria. They give you an antibiotic. All is well. Okay? What's next on your list, Cornelius?
Syphilis.
Syphilis. So what do you guys know about syphilis?
I think Al Capone died from it.
Al Capone died from it?
I believe so.
Did you say Al Capone
Al Capone.
died from it? What else do we know about syphilis?
I'm trying to think. What do you know about syphilis?
Hey man, same as you. Have you had it?
Too young.
So is syphilis curable? Can we get rid of syphilis?
I
Yes,
wanna
because
say
it's a
yes.
bacteria.
You want to say yes.
I want to say yes.
Why are you not sure with your response?
Because it sounds
I
like
haven't did my research.
Nope.
You haven't did your research.
No.
I don't know why you say yes.
Because it sounds like the other two ones. So maybe it could be a disease, and maybe your body can just fight that off with an antibiotic.
But antibiotic, you can get rid of syphilis. It's fine. You can get rid of an antibiotic. You will notice syphilis by some cankers or sores on your hands, your foot, your genital area. Those are symptoms of syphilis. Okay? And it's curable with antibiotic. You can get rid of it. Let's go on to our next one.
Blue waffles.
Blue waffles, we already know that's fictional. We have to Google that, and now I didn't even know what blue waffles was. So we have to fix that one. What is the next one?
Herpes.
Herpes. So, herpes, HSV2. There are two types of herpes. You have type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is like a little cold sores that we get in our mouth. Type 2 is happening in the area of our genitals, around our penis area. For females, it happens around our vagina. Genital warts or genital herpes. That's what herpes is. Can you get rid of herpes?
No.
You cannot. Once you have herpes, my dear, you have herpes. Okay? It is a virus.
How can you get herpes?
How can you get herpes? Not using protection. So when you're engaging in sex, oh girl thinks she clean, she ain't got nothing. And then you engage in sex, and then she might have an outbreak. You notice a couple of days later, like something ain't right, I'm itching, like something ain't right, I'm burning, something not right. Hopefully you go to the doctor and get tested. You just don't leave that untreated or unnoticed. Like, oh no, I'm good. I hope you go to the doctor and get that tested. But herpes is passed on through sexually transmitted intercourse. Sexually transmitted, it's a disease, and then it's passed through sexual intercourse. That's how you get it, okay? So you cannot get rid of herpes. It's a virus. You have it. However, they can give you some medicine or a cream for treatment, like for outbreaks and you start itching, they give you a cream for that. But once you have herpes, my friend, you have herpes, okay? So what's next on your list? HPV, we talked about HPV. HPV is human papillomavirus. And basically it's just some different strands of the virus. Like I said, Gardasil will protect from different strands compared to others. So you will still have the potential to get HPV, but there is a vaccination that prevents a number of strands of HPV. It occurs in both male and females. Can you get rid of HPV?
Yes.
You can?
No, you
You cannot.
But you can prevent
It's a virus, huh?
right with the shot.
You can prevent it with a shot, a vaccination for some strands. Some strands are not covered under that shot. So you still have the potential of getting HPV. Even though you have the shot, you still have the risk of getting HPV. It is a virus. It is something that's in your system, and once you have it, you have it. Okay? And most symptoms of HPV, you won't even know. Everything seems well, you won't even know. The only thing is for the female, how they get tested is because they go in for their exams, they test abnormal cells of it. I'm not quite sure about how males are tested. I'm pretty sure it's something of a, I want to assume it's like a penis, a swab or a urine sample maybe. I'm not educated on that part myself. But it is both found in male and female. And it can be passed on during unprotected sex. Okay? What else is next? That's it. On y'all list, we talked about genital HPV, we talked about herpes, and there's one called trichomonas. It's mainly common. It's a common STD found in both male and female. Again, asymptomatic. You don't know you have something until you go to the doctor for like a regular checkup. For both male and female, you go to the doctor. You can get rid of that with an antibiotic. So it's like you can put it in the category as gonorrhea and chlamydia, something that you can get rid of simple. But the discharge, you might have a slight discharge from the penis, trichinosis. So anything of an STD, and for males, it always have a discharge. You might have pain in your genital area, may be pain when you urinate, may be pain when you engage in sexual activity. That will happen, okay? So moving along, testing and treatment. I talked about it interchangeably when we talked about the different types briefly of HPV and the different sexually transmitted diseases. I talked about it, but it is important if you are sexually active and you are not using protection consistently and correctly, it is important that you get yourself treated or tested for STDs. Remember, I told you, you don't know if that female has something or not. You don't know. She may have the bangest body, cute. What y'all call a girl that's cute, a dime? What y'all call them?
Quarter house.
A quarter house?
Quarter house.
Quarter house?
Yeah.
So what else? What do you guys call a girl that's cute?
Fine.
Fine. So when you see that fine chick, thick, when you see that thick, fine quarter house chick, when you see her, don't assume that she's clean. Don't assume that she's free of STDs and all this jazz. Always go into the situation like she may have something. Like, no, I don't know if you got some or not. So you know what? Let's just use protection. Okay? All the time. I don't care if it's in the heat of the moment. Always have something on you. And I always tell my females, don't always rely on a guy to have that condom. If you know you're sexually active and you know you're engaging in sex, protect yourself. Don't always rely on a dude to do it. Carry one for yourself. And as male as you carry one for yourself, okay? And how many of us know how to correctly use a condom? Correctly. Mr. Johnson, give me step by step. What are we doing?
Well, when you open up the wrapper, there's a certain way the condom is in the package. And, I don't know how to, other than showing, I can show more than I can do.
Okay, just go down the line. Aaron, Paneris, y'all just talk.
But you
So you're
just...
supposed to grab the condom wrapper. You're supposed to fill it to make sure there's no holes in it, because somebody could be setting you up. Then you take it off. You put it on your penis. You grab the tip of it, you roll it down, and you hold the top of it, you roll it down, just all the way to your ball sack, and you let the top go.
Paneris.
First you buy the package, of course, and then you open the package. Like you said, you gotta feel for holes, and then you get the thick part, and then you roll it all the way down.
All the way down. So not once did I hear anybody say check for expiration date. Do we not check for expiration date? Oh, we just turn it up and let's get it going.
Yeah, in the heat of the moment, now if you're someone who's well prepared, yeah. But in the heat of the moment, that's more of a, like someone I know would say, a suggestion.
A suggestion?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's important that we check the expiration date, and that's because it can dry out.
Yeah.
It's dry. And also, it may be expired. Keep it in your wallet too long. That'll have an effect on condoms. And then you guys say tear it. So how are we tearing it? We just gonna tear it down the middle.
Nah.
Or we gonna tear the cross.
Yeah, so you don't rip through the condom.
So you don't rip through the condom.
So it's gonna be like this. So you don't just do that, because you're gonna rip through it, so you
Go kind of slow. You don't go.
you tear it, then you gotta fill the package first, so
Mhm.
the holes. You tear it through, take it off, and you keep going.
Yeah, I want you to keep going.
Then you put it you put it on whatever you're using to have the sets. Then you roll it down. Then you keep it. You roll the top part and you roll the bottom part down, and you let the top part go.
You let the top part go.
Mhm.
So I know this presentation or this lesson was kind of quick, basically just an overview to encourage you guys, if you are sexually active, to use protection, okay? Use it correctly. When I say correctly, that means looking at the expiration date. That means feeling for holes, okay? That means tearing it properly to where you want rip the condom. And then consistently means every time. Every time. And make sure you're using one that fits. use one that fits. Don't have the male ego to where I have to have the king version. I just need the magnum. No, my friend, you have to use the right size. Because if you don't use the right size, it can slip off. It can get stuck. Or it may not come out. It might be too little. So you have to use the right size for your penis. Don't just go in assuming that you guys need the magnum. No, my friend, you have to use one that fits correctly, okay? So, any questions about today? No questions. So, I would assume that if you walk away, you have a brief knowledge on what is safe sex. You will have a brief knowledge of why it's important to use condoms. You will have a brief knowledge on different types of STDs and STIs, which ones are viral, which ones are bacteria, which one can we cure, and which one do we have for life, those. So at this time, you should have another piece of paper with an evaluation. I ask that you guys fill that out completely. And then again, you do have a packet of different STDs for just to learn brief overview for different sexually transmitted infections and diseases. Also, if you are sexually active, I do have condoms to give away to enhance and encourage condom use. So you won't be like, oh, I ain't got one. No, my friend, I gave you a pack, so you have some, okay?
Here you go, Miss McKenzie.
You just leave it down. So again, I want to say thank you for coming out. I hope you guys learned something. I hope I was effective in my presentation. I hope I didn't speak above your heads, but I spoke to where you can understand me in language that you guys can understand. Okay? I try to engage with my students as if I'm your peer. I'm giving you the real talk. Like if you was my nephew or my son, this is how I'm going to talk to you. Oftentimes, educators, doctors, they give you this over the head conversation. You leave like, what did she just say or what did she just say? No, I hope to where I'll give you some information to where you understand and that you're able to implement it throughout your life if you are sexually active. Okay? Any other questions? No? I want to say thank you for coming, and I enjoyed you, and I hope you enjoyed me. Thank you.